humans are incredibly slow at crediting others, while we are really fast at faulting them. And vice versa for ourselves, we are really fast at crediting ourselves, while we are really slow at faulting ourselves. The same goes with justification. If you are cutting someone off in traffic, you can justify that by saying, you were running late or something. While if, another person cuts you off, that person is now an asshole. Well, they could have the same reason that you have, but because they're another person and they're not you, you will think that they are bad, and like all of this type of stuff. All of this just comes down to, you being you, and the main character syndrome that I talked about a couple of days ago, where we think we are the main person in our lives because we are the main person in our lives, but we're not the main person in our environments. There are other people, but because we only have our own perspectives and our own input, like the inputs that we get, we don't get other people's perspectives at the end of the day. So that's kind of the whole thing behind that. But it's the thing that I think is like with myself, like a personal experience when it comes to the bad and good traits that I've got from my parents, is I think I'm incredibly stubborn, and I think I've gotten that trait from my mom. But whenever I say that, she looks at it as being a negative thing, while I look at it as being a positive and negative thing, because I look at it as just being a thing, and being positive in some contexts and some situations, and being negative in some contexts and situations. So me, when I'm having an argument, I can be pretty stubborn there and not give up as much. But when it comes to getting, like, wanting things in life and working for something, I don't give up. I don't give up easily. I just continue doing this. Like creation, like content creation, I've been doing this for so many years now. Like, I've not given up. It has just transformed in different shapes, and that's it. So yeah, just want to share this. Thought it was valuable as always. It's interesting to think about. I heard this from the podcast from Chris Williamson on Modern Wisdom, where I heard it a couple weeks ago, I think, and I was just thinking about it here like ever so often, and I just want to write it down for me to kind of reflect on it today. So hopefully you can reflect on it as well and look at the traits. So this is a little bit of a homework for you. I don't like homeworks, I know, but I really do think this is helpful to think through your traits, and categorize them in, not just look at your traits, not bad ones or good ones, and just look at your traits and not categorize them as being bad or good, but categorize them as just being traits, because they will be bad in some situations and good in others. So look at your traits, and it's just a fun experiment an exercise to see where, or try to figure out where you've gotten those traits from, because at the end of the day, you are a result of your environment. So you are your inputs. Your outputs is your inputs, and your traits is your outputs. So if your outputs, everything in your inputs is like your environment you're physically in, the media you're taking out, like in from your social media, TV, radio, the people you talk to, your friends, your family, like all of the inputs you get in defines you every single day in small ways that you can't even recognize yourself always, to steer in different directions when it comes to different traits of yours. So it's a really, really interesting thing to look at your traits and see where you probably have gotten them. So yeah, thought it was useful, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.